Hey, just so you know, most artists, most musicians are living meagerly out here. They're most musicians are struggling financially. It's all an illusion. What would you consider a really good annual income? $500,000. Less than 1% of musicians are making that. Okay, so streaming does not pay. Touring is expensive, and record labels are going to hold, yo, motherfucker, you got to recoup before you see $1. They're going to hang that over your head. So, yeah, that's what's real. All that to say, if there's an artist out here that you love their music, you love their vibe, please support them. Please. Like when they come to your town, go to the show, buy a ticket, buy the merch. Yeah. Yeah. I have spoken.
Black Lives Matter. Do we think our little white asses are the only ones that matter? No, everybody matters. And of course, Black Lives Matter. Do we think our little white asses are the only ones that matter?
I love Dolly Parton. She was a dear friend. She'll be greatly missed here on earth, but she'll be eternally remembered spiritually. But the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Rest easy, Dolly, and keep a light in the window for me.
Good morning and welcome to Black Press USA's morning show where we bring you the headlines and the culture. It's Wednesday, so none other than the very funny actor, comedian Rodney Perry is in the building.
What's up, Niel? How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I am great. I'm currently in rehearsals for a play I'm doing this weekend in Atlanta and in 2 weeks in Shreveport, Louisiana.
All right, I went to Grambling, so Shreveport is like an hour away. I'm very familiar with Polk City.
Wait, hold on. What year were you at Graham?
I was there from 91 to 96.
You know my people from Monroe.
I know Monroe very well. That's 30 minutes from
We was y'all mall. Y'all just come there for the mall.
You know it. And I mean, I see. Last time I went to Shreveport a couple years ago, people were still wearing Jerry curls.
First of all, let's not besmirch the great Jerry curl. It's
Like,
still a good hairstyle.
we still wear Jerry curls in Polk City.
Don't be a hater, Neil. Don't do that.
I'm just saying, but I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And so the world is mourning. Black folks, we realizing, well, we knew, but some folks are finding out how much we love Miss Dolly Parton.
I mean, you know what? Dolly Parton, rest in peace. And somebody said to me yesterday that she probably died of a broken heart. Her husband just passed away maybe a couple of months ago. And
Oh,
so we see that a lot of times with longtime couples. When one goes, the other one goes shortly thereafter. So blessings to the Parton family, man. And she was the first. She was one of the first white women that was really blessed breastfully.
she had the cleavage. The cleavage was cleavaging.
She had Cleveland.
We love Dolly Parton. Just
Indeed.
even with the I will always love you song that Whitney Houston redid.
Arguably Whitney's biggest hit, was that
Right.
song.
And she took the proceeds from that song and donated it to a black organization. And she just was always sowing seeds, and speaking up and standing in spaces of black folks. She is really the representation of what an ally and allyship looks like.
I don't know about that, Neil. I'm always side-eyeing white women.
Yeah. Well, she's an ally. Okay, look, Don
I
King.
guess, I
We
guess,
never heard from Don King,
every bad thing that happened to a black man in history has been at the hands of a white woman.
but not every white woman.
All right,
Not
I'm gonna let it
every
go. I'm gonna let it
white
go. I'm gonna let it go.
Not every white woman. Look, she was on 106 in Park.
Don't get me wrong. I love Dolly Parton, but white women get the side after Rodney Perry.
Okay, so not, but okay, put it this way: not all white women are Karens.
Indeed, but they all trouble.
They all trouble. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But we saw also a rare appearance. Don King took to social media.
Yeah.
He said, "Keep the light in the window open for him."
Well, he definitely need the window open because he about to he next. Don King, like that little video, like he about to step, go knock on the door today.
And the gray hair was the gray hair was not. Usually it's a lot of gray hair. It's
Well,
it's
I think as we mature and get older, it's inevitable. We all gonna get old, and there's a first day when you first see a person as old, and Don King was old to me till I saw that video, and blessed to him, man. And he's still a great orator, and he probably ready to go home too.
I don't think Don King is ready to go.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Let
Mm-mm.
me tell you something, Neil. When you get up there, you start looking at God like, "Hey, I'm still down here."
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't think nobody is ever really ready to go to the other side.
Let me tell you something, Neil. When Rodney Perry get 85, I'm gonna be ready to go.
85.
Yeah.
85.
Well, how are you? Okay, how you want to live to?
Well, okay, so my grandmother will be 95 in September. She has a
Really?
sister that's 100 that's still living. She'll be 101 this year. She has another sister that's 97.
Well, they
That's
got each other. Do they talk on the phone and stuff?
They talk on the phone.
So they kind of got each other. But man, I don't know, man. I don't. Man, if I'm 55, I'll be 56 in September with your granny. I'll be 56. If I get 30 more summers from right now, I'll be happy.
30 more summers. I love it. I love it. All right. Orange G is saying Don King is black corruption. Give him $1. He will say and do anything. He is MAGA too. Damn.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Damn.
Wow, you went hard at Don King.
Well,
Old or not?
and then he has love for Dolly, and it's hard for Orin to have love for a lot of people. He said Dolly also donated millions to different HBCUs. Yeah, she's an ally.
I mean, the reality is a lot of the historically black universities and colleges were named for white activists, those white women, whether it's Spelman or Howard University. So the reality is that education is education, and it's a good thing that people that look like us are getting it. That's a good thing.
Well, it looks like let's go to our first story. We're talking about allyship. It looked like Target wanted to be an ally again, but now they're back on the hot seat, okay? And they're
What?
facing
Wait, hold on. Target. What Target do? Because I thought we was back at Target. We ain't
no,
back at
we're not
Target.
back at Target, and we should be mad at everybody that has gone back to Target because they're facing backlash after a children's Halloween clown costume sold under its Hide and Eek boutique brand and was called out for its imagery. Critics say closely resemble historic blackfakes and minstrel caricatures. So look at this, and then they got a little black boy in the suit. Where's the black boy's mama?
Well, he for in his defense and their defense, he definitely was at the photo shoot, and his palm was probably there. But how about this, man? This is crazy imagery, and I blame that some black folks are just not in the room. Ain't nobody in the room, obviously, over there to go, hey, dog, that's a bad idea.
A horrible idea. I mean, horrible idea.
This is why we got to be in the room, Neil. No matter what the situation, whether it's Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, It helps to have somebody in the room with your voice. And obviously, Target don't have nobody in the room that's black.
Nobody in the room. Maybe they should have called up Jay Z or something. I don't know. Jay Z.
I
Somebody.
mean, Jay Z been trying to help revive them, with the whole thing dropping his album there. But I mean, one thing about us, we're forgiving though. We're gonna forget this. We're gonna forget what they did last year. We're gonna forget. We're gonna forget. We always do.
Well, a lot of people haven't forgotten. I saw Nikema Levy Armstrong, who was one of the first to speak out against Target and call for a boycott. She's saying this is a great example for her to, put a little, what do they call it? The stuff on the fire. What do you put on the fire? Put a little
Kindling.
kindling to the fire and remind Black folks why we left Target and why we shouldn't be going back to that.
I gotta be honest, Neil. I be going across the picket line sometimes because I like Target t-shirts. They're good fella t-shirts. Ooh, man, for
Let me find
15.
I find a lot of black men. When I talk to a lot of black men, y'all still be at Target. That's problematic, Rodney. A lot of black men, every black
For
man that I talk to, they say they still go to Target.
no, I don't really go, but I like their t-shirts. It's only $15. I go in there and give them $15.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I don't go, but I go.
Wait a minute. Yeah, how you gonna criticize me and you go too?
I have not been. I've been back to Target one time, and let me tell you, it was during Thanksgiving time because I have a friendsgiving
What did
party.
you need? What did you need? What did you need?
To go buy a game by a black created by a black person. Okay, I went to go buy a game that was created by a black person, and the game wasn't there, so I left the building, and I've never been back.
So you
Period.
went to buy something, but you couldn't find it, so you had to
By
leave.
a black owned creator. Okay, so that's where I felt like I had a little grace because I was going looking for a black owned game. The game wasn't there, and so your girl left.
Okay. I'm always have grace for you because you're a great human being.
So are you. Black men, stop going to Target.
Wait a
Aquarius,
minute. How can you say that, Neil? You've been there
one time. I'm
one
too.
time, one too many times, Neil.
Okay. Aquarius, the real sign, 79 says Rodney is problematic. Uh-oh.
Aquarius,
That
get
is
off my back. Get off my back, Aquarius. Now,
okay. All right. And since we're on the storyline of blackface caricatures,
yeah,
um, you know the ice cream song? Do you
I
know
do know
the
the ice cream.
do you know
Yes,
the
it's Mr. Salty song. Yes,
if for those of you who don't know the story about the ice cream truck song, take a look at this.
You know this sound. For generations, it meant one thing: the ice cream truck is coming. But the history behind one of America's most recognizable ice cream truck songs is a lot darker than you probably remember. Like to be, look for Mr. Saucy. The melody, commonly known as Turkey in the Straw, dates back to the 1800s. The tune itself wasn't created as a racist song, but here's where the story changes. The melody became popular in blackface minstrel shows, where white performers mocked black people using racist stereotypes. But there are so many gals, I couldn't get away. And in 1916, the tune was used for an explicitly racist song.
Old Zip Coon, he's a larned scholar, sings possum up a gum tree and Cooney in the holler.
Over time, Turkey in the Straw became one of the melodies associated with American ice cream trucks, and generations of children grew up hearing it without knowing that history. In 2020, Good Humor even commissioned a new ice cream truck jingle from RZA of Wu-Tang Clan as an alternative.
We can make new era.
So the next time you hear that familiar sound coming down the street, remember, sometimes Black history is hiding in places you would never think to look.
I mean, in the chat, how many of you knew the history of the ice cream song? Let us know in the chat how many people knew the history of the ice cream song. So when we mix Target with the ice cream song, it's just, it's never left.
I
Racism,
mean,
it's just
I mean, here goes Niel and Greer. I don't know why y'all be surprised at whites in America. Like whites been doing wild stuff for. I mean, this story is proof. 200 years. You know what I'm saying? And so for us to expect them to be civil now is absurd. You know, this song is just one of the many things they did. One of the many things. I mean, we did a story last week about, or 2 weeks ago, about the last survivor of Black Wall Street. You know, so that stuff happened, and it wasn't just black. It was Rosewood. It was Central Park. It's so many. I mean, the murder of blacks in America. You know, the white woman that had Medgar Evers killed. That stuff is all so embedded in my mind and my culture. So I'm not surprised that the ice cream truck song is a racist song. I'm not surprised even a little bit.
I'm not surprised, but I think it's also a reminder that racism is woven into the fabric
Yeah,
of America. From an ice cream truck song to Target today doing costumes in blackface, it's so prevalent in everything that we do on a day-to-day basis.
but
Something
here's what's awesome, Neil. Here's what's awesome. All the stuff we've been through as blacks in America, from redlining to civil rights, the civil rights struggle, all the stuff we've been through, and we still here.
right.
How about that?
Right. No, 100%. I actually was talking to somebody that you know yesterday. I got a call from Sherry McGee.
Oh, that's my
Sherry,
girl.
yeah. She's coming on the show next Wednesday. Her and somebody else, somebody named Kevin Boyd.
I know Kevin Boyd.
Yeah, so they're coming on the show. And I have a point that's relevant, but I'm just sharing this now also
Oh, that's
because
hot. That's super hot.
the showrunners of the Varnell, the new Varnell, what's it called?
Barnell Hill with Tommy Davidson is coming out,
Yeah,
and
check
it
that
all
out.
spent off from a character that was on Martin, and he played 30 years ago, and finally they found a space for it to live on television. So I'm excited
Right.
about it.
And so I didn't know that she was part of the creation with
Oh
Bentley.
yeah,
She said it's been in the making for 6 years. Um,
yes,
but I'm saying all that to say when you were talking about, racism and it's always been here, we were talking about how we're still thriving.
yeah,
And how we're still, living out our dreams and fulfilling, promises of God, even through this type of situation.
yeah,
And, that kind of gave me hope and reminded me that all is not lost. Yeah, we're dealing with
yeah,
all this racist stuff. Some people in the chat saying they didn't know about the ice cream song. And even still, in the words of our beloved mother, Maya Angelou, yet we still rise. We still rise,
yes.
you know?
Yes, that's so powerful, Neil, man. I mean, you got to think what we have been through over the last 100 years is absolutely amazing, you know. And how about this?
Tragically amazing.
Tragically amazing, and for us to have withstood all that, and we still, and again, like Maya Angelou said, we still rise.
We
That
still
proves
rise.
that we are kings and queens.
Right. So some people didn't know about the song, some people did. Orange G is saying before the ice cream jingle, whites made money off of chicken and watermelon. They were mad because black people made money from selling it. And so whites made up the minstrel show. Yeah, I mean, white people are some cruel folks. Like just like the word picnic stands for pick, Nigga. Did you know that? The word picnic?
It's not A, it's a ER, a hard ER. But I did know about that history, and here goes Neil, man. I mean, it's again, it never surprised me, but at the same time, there are allies out there, like that you alluded to earlier. There are allies out there, and I just don't be expecting to see no ally, but they are there.
They are there. They are there. And so you said you're in Texas, right?
I am in Dallas, Texas, right now. As I look out the window, it's a beautiful day, and you talk about hot, Neil. It easily 109 yesterday, 101, 107 the day before, and it's supposed to hit like another 109 today. So goodness gracious, I mean, it's like being in the air fryer here.
And we thought it was hot here in California. I'm just concerned about the power grids. Um, that's a huge issue in our country when it comes to infrastructure is the power
Right.
grid and how they keep
Well, you
going
know,
out.
Texas is kind of independent of the rest of the country when it's in terms of the power grid. Because I remember they had their power grid fail a few years
Right.
ago. My sister's here in Dallas, and let's not even ignore what's going on up in the Midwest with Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, so mostly all of their power was restored, thank God. Same for
But
Memphis.
almost 11 days later, though.
And because we started going off.
Yes.
When black folks find out something on the internet, they're like, we're like, we'll take it from here. We got it.
Right.
Okay, we got
Right.
it.
But it was interesting to me that mainstream media was not covering that story. That's what was appalling. I
Right.
think.
And even Memphis, 100,000 people. It wasn't as long, but I think the push for Gary gave attention to Memphis, and that's
Yes.
what we have to do, and that's why shows like this are very important. But since you're in Dallas, this next story, you might want to let your sister know about it. So if you have parking tickets from the city of Dallas, this story you want to pay attention to. Take a look.
Parking enforcement will start installing windshield immobilizers, better known as barnacles, on vehicles with 3 or more unpaid parking tickets. The city says these devices are a faster, more convenient alternative to towing. Under the new program, drivers will have 24 hours to pay their outstanding tickets plus a $100 fee to remove the device. The city will also place a $300 hold on the driver's card until the device is returned.
Ridiculous. People have more attempts. Well, not everybody can do it.
I think any kind of punitive or like forms of punishment where people have to pay more money, I just disagree with it. I think it's oppressive.
Wow, that's interesting, man. I mean, what if they're wrong? You know what I mean? Like, and they erroneously put that on your vehicle, and now you got to pay a ticket that you may not owe. It could be really problematic, as I see it.
I mean, they just slap it on your windshield, okay?
Hey, you can have a boot removed. You can't move. You can't take the windshield off.
No, you can't. You can't. And I mean, like, why waste the money on that? What was wrong with the boot? The boot wasn't sufficient. You can't
I
drive.
mean,
What was wrong?
like that's probably way cheaper than a boot.
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
Wow, that's like crazy, and you can't say you didn't see it.
You can't say you didn't see it. You can't say you didn't see it. I mean, and parking tickets are, you know, they need to do away with parking tickets. I think, I know it's a way for the city to make money. I know it's a way for the city to make money, but a parking ticket, first of all, the population has grown in these cities so much. Parking is so hard to find. So why are we paying for parking when we need parking spaces?
I mean, Neil, I get what you're saying, but it's also gotten easier. I mean, you can do it from your phone. Like, let me tell you something. What Rodney Perry do is I will valet, and I
Oh,
tell my kids, "Hey, pay what it costs. Pay $20. Pay $25 because it's cheaper than a ticket."
somebody says parking tickets are racist.
I don't know about that. Now that's a stretch. That in itself is a stretch.
First
I
place
mean,
says
and
parking
I'm the first one to call racist, but parking tickets really.
That's what they're saying. Parking tickets are racist. And they're
And
also
that's why we don't be ignoring the chat sometimes because they be saying wild stuff.
yeah, but we got to keep the chat. The chat last week they were like, "You don't engage with us enough." So
I see you actively, really, really, really doing your chat team today. But come on, racist parking tickets. Come on, guys.
well, maybe somebody saw him get out the car. Maybe they're black, and somebody saw them get out the car, and they feel like they did it. Cause I'm just trying to help them out. That's all.
Hey, I guess.
And then wait, first place C also said everything is racist if you want it to be.
How about that? How about that? Well said, sir.
That some people do live in that world. I don't think everything is racist, but America is racist. Period. Point blank.
Ah, you know what? I'm inclined to like you could find some bias in everything. You can find some bias, social bias everywhere.
Southbound says because we don't own the land to make it free parking, they stole it and making us pay again.
Who is they? Who is they?
The man. You talking
The
about
man? Really? Oh my
the
goodness.
man?
Don't get me started. Well, y'all wild over here, boy. Come on, Black Press.
All right, this is for my Gen Xers. I'm a Gen Xer. You're a Gen Xer. This
Are
next,
we? I
yeah,
never
we
know what I am. I'm a ex.
Gen X. You know what we didn't talk about before we go into this next story? It's kind of relative. The Eric Benet video. We
Oh,
started.
I like that video. I like him breaking it down.
Thought you would like that video. And he talked about the facade of being a celebrity. He touched on
Yeah.
that, and he talked about buying the tickets. And I know a lot of times if you come to people's towns, they're like, "Put me on your list." But I wanted you to speak to that Eric Benet video.
I mean, he makes a great point, and support is money. Like, don't get me wrong, the fact that you came is dope, but support equals you spending your money, your hard-earned money to go see a person. But I get it. I get it. Like, especially people of color, we need like this is the difference between whites and blacks when it comes to entertainment. Whites will look you up. If you got Google, they be like, "Oh man, this guy, he was in the Navy, he did this, he did that," and they know every little nuance of your life. Black people need you to be famous. Before they spend their money, 1/4 to see you, they need you to be famous.
That is 100.
And, and,
Family
and
included. Family included.
let me tell you something. I was on TV for my family. Like I was 10 years like bona fide on TV before my family going, "Hey man, you funny." I was like, you know what? Shut up.
You
Like
were
you borrowed money from me last week. You just found out I'm funny. That's crazy. But Eric Benet makes a great point. But I didn't know that it was like he said, like 1% of the people we see that feel famous are really maybe struggling. It looked like one thing and it's another thing sometimes. So just because, and poets have it even harder, comedians have it even harder. And so uh those of us that have the luxury, I haven't worked a regular job since 1998. So those of us that have the less, you got to find a way to be thankful no matter what, you know. And that's been my revelation over the last like 6 months is that thank God no matter what, because you could easily, of course, I was right next to Kevin Hart and Cat Williams and all those big comics. But the reality is that I put people through college. I bought cars and homes and things of that nature, all on comedy. So that in itself is a blessing.
Dr. Maryland says black authors also have it hard.
Indeed, indeed.
Mm-hmm. And
Authors, artists. I mean, a person that paint. Just imagine being a talented artist and you can paint. Guess what? Don't nobody give a damn till you die.
right. Mm. Right. You talked about how hard the comedy world is. There's this conversation going on before I get to it. I want to know, has anybody ever stole your joke? And I'm talking about somebody that is of high level, like a Kevin Hart or Steve Harvey, or has anybody ever stole your joke?
I mean, I've dealt with that in my career maybe once or twice. Not really stole my joke, but people arrive where you are after you were there. So, like, say for instance, Kevin Hart on his last special had a joke similar to one of my jokes. He didn't see me do it, but he just arrived there a decade after me. So I gotta move on. Like it's incumbent upon me to move on. Like I gotta find my next chapter. Cause sometimes as a comedian, you stand at one place too long.
Mm,
And so if you don't move, somebody will come to your space and be doing that same little joke that you've been doing for 10 years. And you be like, "Hi, why are you doing my material?" He's not doing your material. He just living his life. He just got there later.
yeah, because I know comedians, you guys will live off of a joke for 10 years.
Oh, easily, easily. But the reality is you really should be recycling material less in less time, like maybe 3 to 5 years.
Oh, I know some comedians. I'll go see them tonight. and they'll be doing the same set that they did at the J Spot, and
How
it
about
works.
that?
It kills
I
every time.
mean, jokes work, man. And every time you work, you're in front of a new crowd, new audience. So you got to get lazy to the whole situation, but you got to stay current. I'm newly divorced, so I'm in that space now. I'm talking about that on stage, what that means to me, da da da. And so if you stay if you stay current with where you are living, then you should be able to create all the time.
Right.
Is that
And
me?
I brought this up too because you brought up Kevin Hart. And there's a conversation I've seen online amongst comedians about Kevin Hart stealing Mojo Brooks's joke. Have you saw this conversation?
Yeah, I
Well, I
saw
know
that,
you
man.
F
I
and
saw
lying.
that. And the guy that introduced it is
I saw the movie and he
uh
does use it a gazillion times.
first of all,
Is that
that particular phrase, I know you effing lying, predates both of them.
okay?
The phrase itself is part of black vernacular. Like, I know you effing lying. People been saying that, Neil, our whole lives. I know
But
you effing lying. People literally. So Mojo Brooks has been saying it as of late, but Kevin didn't steal that from him.
okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And if so, why? Out of all the stuff he say, why?
I mean, it's a killer line. It's
He
funny.
it ain't that funny though.
I mean, my funny is funny.
No,
It's
no, no.
funny.
The line itself ain't that funny. The line,
Well,
like,
I think
I know you effing lying. Ain't no household word. You know what I mean?
you're right. You're right. But the way that Mojo Brooks uses it, it has become a catchphrase for him. You have to give him that.
It has become a catchphrase to him again. The phrase itself predates him and Kevin.
Right. 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 Right.
You
And
know, and so when you got a young guy criticizing the OG, it's like, know your history, bro. Know your history. Know your
it's
history, man.
not Mojo Brooks. Let's be clear. I have not heard him say
No,
this.
no, Mojo didn't. Now, don't get me wrong. Did I think that when I first heard Kevin say it? Absolutely. But I did my research.
You did. Okay, you did feel
I
that.
did my research. I'm like, wait, this particular phrase predates Kevin and Mojo. You know, and so I get that Mojo
You heard it. You thought about Mojo, though.
for sure, for sure,
Okay.
for
All
sure.
right. That's
But
good.
again, I get it. I get the being alarmed by it. But calm down.
Calm down. Calm down, comics. Calm down, Rodney Perry says. Dr. Marilyn is agreeing with you. She's saying, is it stealing? What did she say? Is it stealing or both comics may have had the same comedic experience? And that's what you're saying. Like you had it, you're still using the joke, you moved on, but now that person is in that space. And they've had that experience.
And there's a conventional wisdom among comics too that the more famous person take it on TV, it's theirs.
Right, 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 right. I guess musicians don't have that problem.
Well, it's a fundamental difference between music and comedy because you
Oh, so
have to.
it's just like sampling. She says it's just like sampling.
But you have to do new material. You can live off the same song for 100 years. Frankie Beverly sung the same 5 songs his whole career. Don't get me wrong, he had probably 30 songs, but he was able to do a concert where he played the same 10 or 15 songs his whole career.
What are the top
So
three? What are the top three Frankie Beverly songs?
Before I Let Go, Southern Girl is
No,
one of
I said
mine.
Joy and Pain.
Joy and Pain is a big hit, yeah.
And what would be the third one? Southern Girl.
Maybe. I mean, he got other hits. He got so many hits.
Those are the top two, though. Before I Let Go, I think, and Joy and Pain. Those
For
are
sure, for sure, for sure.
universal ones. All right. The chat is enjoying this conversation. It's just like sampling. I guess you could say that. What do you think your funniest joke has been in your career?
Oh, my funniest joke, man. You know what? I used to do a joke about my wife being a stalker, and she was like ex-military, and she would pull up on me, crawl on the floor, and that was a career making moment for people when people saw that joke. But it's been so many, man. I mean, I've forgotten more jokes than some people ever created their whole life. So, but the whole stalker joke was a moment for me. Absolutely.
All right, Southbound brought up "We Are One." That's another Frankie Beverly staple. Yes, "We Are One." Um, uh, Talin says, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." And
Mm.
that's the world of comedians. If that joke hits, I'm gonna see how many states, how many cities, how many towns it's gonna
Hey,
hit.
somebody gonna tell you eventually. Like somebody somewhere be like, "Hey, man, I love you, man. Can you not do that again?"
Right. Wait, who are Rodney? She says Rodney Perry is funny on and off stage. Okay, there you go. All
Big
right.
hand, big hand.
That's why you gotta read the chat, okay? That's why you gotta read the chat.
I can't see
I
the
mean,
chat.
they talk. The clan is in there too, so they saying some
Who? Who? The clan?
The clan is in the chat, okay?
Really?
Yeah, they making some races, and I didn't got a fu.
No.
Yeah.
Hold
Um,
on. Hey, clan. Hey, clan. You got to talk to the clan.
Can y'all tell them? I want to know how they really feel about Donald Trump. They can't love what he's doing, or maybe they do.
Hey,
I don't
hey.
know.
I think history is the one factor that people don't take into consideration. So when history looks back at Donald Trump and his presidency, they will find him to be very inept. History never lies. Like when you start looking at hindsight of the president, that's when you
Mhm.
find out how effective he was. And we'll find out this whole debacle with these young men and women out there at sea for a year is insane during a president watch. That's you failed us, bro.
Yeah. I read yesterday that it's finally going to come to a port and dock, so that's good news. But once again, it social media for the win again. Social media is bringing the stories to light that this Trump administration wants to keep in the dark. So keep it up. Now, this one, like I said, now we're going to go to the Gen X. You're Gen X, I'm Gen X. Most of the chat is Gen X. After 71 years, Columbia House is shutting down. Remember Columbia House? If you don't, take a
Yeah,
look.
it's just yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Watch this, watch this.
Recognize the phrase eight CDs for a penny. I have generational news for you tonight. After 71 years and a transition from vinyl to tapes to CD, Columbia House is no more. They once had 16 million members, but streaming killed the mail order star. Last day for orders, September 15th. If you recognize the phrase eight CDs for a penny, I have generational news for you tonight.
I may have
Wow.
to, I may have to order my 7 CDs just
I
because.
wish I would. It was a ripoff.
But you got 7 for a penny.
Yeah, but then you was obligated to buy 9,000 CDs for the next year
I never
at,
did it.
at regular prices or $25 a per. It was really insane.
No, I remember when I ordered them 7. I was cassettes. I ordered them 7 cassettes, and I ain't never do nothing else with. That's where it ended for me, for my 1 penny.
So did you mail them a penny? How did you send a penny?
I don't remember. I just remember that I did it. I remember because you would look through, was it the TV guide?
Right On magazine, Jet
Yeah,
had them in there. Yeah.
you pull it out and then you look and you see all your favorite artists from Madonna to Houdini to
Oh,
whatever.
you know what? You know what? You taking me back, Neil. Now, I gotta throw this out there. Now, you're not gonna care about this,
Okay.
but that whole question reminds me of the Jet Beauty.
The Jet Beauty. Okay. All right.
Oh
One of
my
our
God.
journalists, our culture critic, Don Montgomery, she was a Jet Beauty.
Really? Look, I probably got a picture right here. Well, I ain't got it right here, but I got it.
Paul Walker says, "Wow, I didn't know Columbia House still existed." See, Org says, "Let me order some CDs from them now. I still haven't paid my 1 penny." So, see, you didn't really have to pay the 1 penny. Um, and so, I mean, I think like the end of an era, like this generation will never know the fun we had.
First of all, it wasn't no fun. I tell you what, Neil, you didn't.
Oh, there's
Uh oh.
Don. That's Don.
What's up, Don? Okay, Don still got it together, don't she?
Yeah, she was a jet beauty. I mean, that was like, okay, so you got the jet. I mean, the jet beauty, but I loved the last 2 pages. Best song, best album, and the TV. Like, it
Right.
was something in it for everybody.
Yeah,
You
and
had
then
the
they would
black
even whoever got married that week, they would talk about the nuptials and things of the nature. It was just such a great
Yeah.
magazine.
Yeah, I mean the Black Beauty you would watch. Okay, let me see what the bathing suit is looking like. Let me see what is she a beauty? Is she, you know what I'm saying? So you look at
I
that,
mean, she was always pretty, but the
you know,
background with and then who took the picture matter. Like it was Macklemore, it was Lamont, whatever his name was. There was a couple of photographers. You get to know the photographer too.
okay. So you have the beauty of the week, you have the nuptials of the week, you have the album of the week, and the TV show of the week.
Yeah,
I loved
yeah.
it.
For a lot of young men, that was our first foray into adult videos.
And Felicia is saying Jet was so informative.
I don't know about that. I never got past page 32.
I mean, it was like I said, you would know what the album of the week was. You would know who was getting married.
No,
You
for Nia, you was reading the jet. I was not reading. I was looking at them pictures in the middle.
and you was uplifting Black Beauty. I mean, it just gave us so much.
I was a heathen.
Now,
Okay.
what? Okay, so today, where can you go to get that type of experience?
Nowhere. Nowhere. I mean, maybe, yeah. No. Anything I say gonna be lewd. So no, nowhere.
And Black Queen 1059 brings up a great point. At least the beauty was natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, Don, no breast implants, no booty implants, natural beauty. Those women, those
No,
jet beauty.
it ain't because they didn't want to. It just didn't exist. They wasn't purposely not getting breasts. They just it just wasn't a thing then.
I don't think it was. I think natural hair was okay. You wanted the roller set, the Jerry curl.
But
You
but again,
wanted the perm.
that magazine predates a lot of this technology. So I'm saying that you're right, but you're right because it just wasn't there. Don't get me wrong. People ain't getting BBLs because they exist.
Well, I heard BBLs are out now. Nobody's getting BBLs anymore. That's
Get
what
out of here.
that's what
Let
I
me tell you,
heard.
I saw two BBLs yesterday.
Well, in down south, that's natural most of the time.
Hey,
I remember
I'm not.
being
I'm not gonna even. I'm not about to argue with you about no BBL.
I remember being at Grambling in the 90s, and I was like, what are these girls eating? Cornbread? I mean, because their
Hey,
bodies was just like, and the word fine, see, in California during that time, fine meant aesthetics, what you look
yeah,
like.
a pretty face. Yeah, yeah.
Fine is body. If you say
Oh, for
somebody's
sure,
fine
for
down
sure.
south, it's a
Like,
body. It's
like
not.
what a man thinks is fine is relative to where he's from in this country. So those of us in the Midwest, we wasn't as enamored with a pretty face as we were with the physique, the her top, her bottom. That's stuff that got you going. But if you're a California kid, you really like the pretty, more pretty girl. You
Mhm.
know, New Yorkers are different. Midwest, Southern guys are different. So I think your geography plays into what you think is pretty. Like, from coming from the Midwest, you hard pressed to sell me a white woman. But my boys from Texas love white women.
Wow. Wow.
Very true. Very true.
Black women, they love black women too, or just white women?
I don't want to get into the whole thing, but I know that while they may love a black woman, they would definitely that you can definitely sell them a Caucasian young lady.
RNG, this is the second time he didn't brought up Thelma from Good Times. Like he wants his quote about
I
Thelma.
know Thelma from Good Times. I know Thelma.
He said Thelma from Good Times was a jet beauty, and she can be a jet beauty today in 2026.
She's
And
still
that is
gorgeous. She's still gorgeous. And how about this? Walona was fine too.
Malona, yeah, Malona. Everybody
Yeah,
wanted to be like Malona because she was single and she was fly, living in the projects. Nobody
yeah.
cared. I wanted to be Malona.
And how about this? Let's keep it on Good Times. Florida Evans, low key was kind of fine, and she was the reason all them actors had
It
jobs.
got on my damn nerves. She was the problem that why they were stuck in the ghetto. Okay, she didn't want no black Jesus. She always was holding James back. You know, Florida, please.
Hold on, Nia. What you're not gonna do is talk about the great Florida Evans.
Florida Evans was the problem of the show. Look at
No, no. If it wasn't for Florida, the show wouldn't have been a show.
she was the problem.
Florida was the reason the show was a show. Her
She
character
ran
spin off to
James
create the
off.
show.
She ran James off. Okay, she ran him off.
No, no, no.
Florida,
James loved Florida.
Florida. He always had Florida, Mama. You know, just didn't want the black Jesus.
Wow.
Michael had to show her and
See
represent
that really upset you, the whole Black Jesus episode.
the whole black Jesus. We didn't know it then, but Michael was on to something. Okay, well, Norman Lear was on to something. You know,
Norman Lear stole the whole idea.
but Norman Lear provided a lot of jobs for black folks. Good Times, the Jeffersons.
Again. But all that was the brainchild of the real Michael Evans.
Oh, Felicia said, "Hold your horses." She carried the show. Y'all think Florida was it? Was
Yes, yes, yes. Come on,
you know why?
chat.
JJ carried the show.
No, JJ was the reason that the show devolved into buffoonery
JJ is the reason.
for sure.
So,
So you
so
saying JJ was more important than his father, James Evans Sr.?
I mean, JJ gave it the pizzazz, dynamite, the painter. You know,
Neil, for the first time I see you part of the whole sheep in this country.
look, I'm just saying, it was a great show. It was a great cast. Thelma was good. The yin and the yang of Thelma and
Is
JJ.
is that one of the best sitcoms of all time to you?
Yes, I would say Good
Ooh,
Times is
wow.
one of the good time only because when you look at it in hindsight, like I say in hindsight, Florida was the problem. But in hindsight, the storytelling about them living in the Cabrini Greens projects in Chicago and the issues when you go back and watch the Jeffersons, it was social issue oriented, the issues
Mhm.
that were impacting the times, which are relevant to today, those were the issues they were tackling on the Jeffersons. I mean, on Good Times.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Well said.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Miller said, "Why is Flo catching strays?" I don't have a problem with Florida Evans. I'm just saying that
No, no, you definitely got a problem with Florida Evans, Neil.
she had that white American syndrome. She was doing everything by the book. And
No,
sometimes that's just not how things get done. Okay? By the book.
You know
Oh,
what?
so
Yeah.
so now you done opened up a Pandora's box. So now people are putting in their favorite black shows. Dr. Marilyn says, for me, it's Girlfriends in a Different World. We're gonna talk about a different world in a minute.
they got
So
a reboot. They got a reboot coming too.
we're about to talk about that. We're about to talk about that after this
Okay.
next story. So while we're going through this next story, put in the chat your favorite black sitcoms of all time since we're on the topic, and I'm gonna think
Why
of some
not?
more. But let's jump into this story because it has to do with what we're eating. So the New York Times reported last week that the U.S. Bureau of Land Management is allowing the sale of wild horses to middlemen. And so this is how it's going. Sometimes they're being sold for $25 each. And then these middlemen turn around and sell the horses to slaughterhouses abroad. And then they process them for meat. Now, this is according to the report. These types of sales have surged under both Trump administrations. So the word on the street is that they're slaughtering our wild horses for meat. So the question is how to tell the difference between beef and horse meat. Take a look at this. Drum roll.
Now, a good time for us to be well informed so that we know what we're purchasing, or if we can't tell by appearance, we know what we're eating by taste and texture. Now, when I'm comparing these two types of meat, I'm not referring to grass-fed beef. I'm referring to store-bought beef. Now, with color, store-bought beef, it's going to be a brighter red. Sometimes the red might be a little dull in color, but the horse meat will be a darker red, a dark, deep red. And with the horse meat, it's leaner. There's not as much fat. The fat will look different. If there is fat or marbling, it'll be more of a yellowish color. Whereas with the store-bought beef, there's more fat, more marbling, and it's white in color. Horse meat could be dyed to make look a little brighter red in color, but you will be able to tell by taste and texture. Okay, the differences are there. We know what beef tastes like, whether it's ground beef or whether it's a nice ribeye, right? It's juicy, savory, flavorful. It's got a higher fat content. Even the lean cuts of beef, and we're talking about store-bought beef, don't forget. Now, with horse meat, it's more lean, it's dense, it's got like a tighter texture. It dries out super quick because of the low fat content, right? And it also is sometimes can taste gamey, but it will taste sweet. It has a bit of sweetness to the flavor. Now, for those who don't know, horse meat is actually
So, I mean, this is where we are in America. We have to learn the differences because we don't know what they're going to be selling us in the grocery store because the FDA is just, there's no oversight.
Right, right, right. I mean, it's so disturbing, man. I mean, first of all, beef is expensive as a mug right now. I don't know if you've been in the grocery store lately, but hamburger meat, a small pack of hamburger meat that used to be like $8 is now like $25. So there is a shortage of beef nationally. And so I can see why they would try to augment our supply with another animal, but that's all absurd to me. And you, I can remember when I was a kid, and the horse meat was like so taboo to even eat horse meat. So I hopefully this don't end up in my grocery store, but I'm kind of weaning myself. I mean, if they're gonna get me with chicken, they don't get me with no beef.
Well, I'm thinking about I actually yesterday I started following this OK Cattle Company. And basically they're here in Ontario and I was talking about this earlier, but you could buy portions of grass-fed cows and you could split it with a friend. So I'm really considering my sister did it earlier this year. She still has beef. I'm thinking about just buying a cow, a portion of a cow, and I'll get some filet mignon, I'll get some ribeyes, I'll get some T-bones, I'll get
I mean,
ground.
do you eat beef like that though?
I love beef. I love a good steak. I love filet mignon. I love
I'm saying,
hamburger.
but how often are you eating it though? Like, I mean, are you eating it enough to substantiate buying a whole half a cow?
Well, I could buy a quarter of a cow. I don't have to buy the half a cow. I could buy a quarter of a cow. Like that's how you could do it. I would say go check it out. It's called OK Cattle Company.
No, I've heard about this whole phenomenon. People are buying like a substantial portion, but it makes you buy a lot.
Right. So some of the stories that I mean, I went down the rabbit hole as I started following them. Some of the people went and they bought them a deep freezer. Deep freezer at Costco is less than $200.
Yeah.
Get deep freezer, put it in your and we're gonna have to start doing this. I'm telling you, stack up on your water. Stack up on, but if we don't have no electricity, the meat gonna go bad. I thought about that too. If the grid goes, the meat goes. Now you got to get a generator. Who knew that we were living in these times where we have to think about this?
The revolution is coming, Neil. The revolution is coming.
In the words of Don King, living in America. Remember living in America?
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
So some people say they prefer to shop kosher, deli. What do you think about kosher meat? I mean, I can't. What's the difference?
I mean, so it's how the animal is it meets his demise. That's when you see halal. That's similar as well. There's a way based on the Bible how animals are meet their demise, and so that's when you start talking about kosher, and you'll see the Muslims will eat halal, and that's another thing that matters. How the animal meets its demise matters, and they don't eat like catfish and bottom feeders and pork and stuff. They don't mess with that stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna eat whatever I like. I'm gonna season it up and put it down.
You go right. We're gonna eat what we want to eat, okay?
Yeah.
So let's jump to our next story. This is a good Black excellence story. Kwanzaa Jones just became Major League Baseball's first Black woman majority owner in a record $3.9 billion deal. Now, this
Wow.
makes her the first Black woman to hold that position in Major League Baseball. And Jones is from LA and
Wow.
graduated from Princeton in 1993, where she was also a Division I athlete. Now, a lot
Wow.
of people are saying this isn't real. I've, fact checked it from several news sources. But I love the name and I just love it all. I love it all. The Black Girl Magic, the name, and everything that she represents, especially in a time like this, us talking about thriving still and all the
Now,
negativity.
now I don't know her as a billionaire. Like I usually try to make my business and know the Black billionaires. I don't know her as a billionaire, but apparently she's got it. I wonder what's her percentage of ownership in that team.
She's majority owner. Let me see. I
Well,
saw it.
at least 51.
Let me see. I don't know if it's 51, but she has the most stake in the team.
Wow. That's huge, man. And that baseball is maybe the most lucrative sport in America right now.
Right. And I'm looking to see Kwanzaa Jones having the Padres. Because that's important to know.
Wow. Shouts out to Kwanzaa Jones,
Oh,
man. I wonder what is her business in? What does she make her money at?
She has approximately 45% of the team.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So her and her husband are in the finance industry. And
Wow. Way to go, Kwanzaa Jones.
yeah.
See if hey, let's call up Neil. Maybe she'll let us hold something.
Hey, maybe she wants to fund Wednesdays. I love it. Let's find her. She from LA.
She from LA.
Kwanzaa was founded in LA by Dr. Milana Karango right up the street from my house. So there has to be some
Well,
connection.
that lady was founded by her mama and daddy.
Well, Kwanzaa though, that name.
The holiday.
All right, so let's get into our last story. We talked about A Different World. It's coming back, I believe, in September.
Yes.
The second installment is going to be
I think they already shot it. I think it's actually in the can.
Already. Yeah, it's in the can. It's coming out in September. It's
it's gonna be on Netflix, am I right?
It's gonna be on Netflix, and it's about Whitley and Dwayne's child. So the cast of A Different World were recently on The View. Let's take a look at some of the conversation.
Yes, ma'am. Did you write that song? I wrote that song. Yeah. See, he called me out of the blue. He had one of my demo tapes and said, would you be willing to work with me on this theme song? I needed Friday. This was Wednesday. Within less than 10 days, I had written the theme song and booked the co-star spot on the series, and they had no idea they'd hired the same person.
Well, a lot of people, when they imitate me, will say Dwayne.
Okay.
It must be, Dwayne.
None of those things were the reasons that I was attracted. I wanted a job.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's lasted this long and it's still relevant is amazing.
Yeah.
I remember especially the degree of difficulty of doing a show about AIDS. Mm-hmm. And Whoopi Goldberg was our secret weapon.
Yeah.
We put our heads together and I said, we got to get a big gun to make this happen. And Whoopi, I called her and she said, yeah, I'll do it. She was down. Yeah.
I want to point out something because the thing that no one has said yet that I want to make sure that I point out is that, yeah, folks needed a job, but this was also a unique opportunity that did not present itself. And you know that because you only saw one show, right, full of characters who were brown, yeah, about a school, a college, yeah, someplace you didn't see us on television. Right. It was just a reminder. Dawn.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you write that song?
I wrote that song.
Wow, what a big deal, man. Wow, what a great story.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to Dr. Bill Cosby.
You have to.
You have to give him his flowers for, just giving us that experience. And having Debbie Allen, curate those stories. And you saw her talking about the AIDS episode. I started watching A Different World again for the third time this week, prepare myself for the new season because the episodes are just so good, and I use it as background, so sometimes I'm paying attention, sometimes I don't, so I'm seeing episodes that I didn't even realize I had missed. But what Dr. Bill Cosby contributed to our culture during that time, from the Cosby Show to A Different World, deserves its flowers. And they need to bring the Cosby Show back to mainstream. Thank God for TV One. Thank God for the Griot for airing the episodes. But I think it's just so unfair for Dr. Cosby to be canceled while you have other, producers, with Harvey Weinstein, all his movies are still on every streaming platform. Why not Dr. Cosby?
I mean, here's the reality, man. When you're black in America, everything is way tougher. Everything. If you're a black woman, everything is harder for you. And so we see when people of color go through whatever they go through, it's always tougher to come back. Will Smith is still on punishment for a decade for what he did.
The slap was 10 years ago?
It's less than 10 years. They say it'll last him to 2032.
Well,
so
slapping people on live broadcast shows now.
You can't slap people. But the reality is maybe it shouldn't be slap only hurt for a couple seconds. Why is he still paying for it? So like you say, Weinstein is not paying anymore. So that's just an interesting dichotomy, but it's the world we live in. And how about this? Like we said earlier in the show, I'm never surprised.
Never surprised. But shout out to Dr. Cosby. Thank you for that experience. I went to an HBCU, or I wasn't afraid to go to a HBCU because of A Different World.
Yeah.
A lot of Gen Xers had that experience. Now,
especially my daughter's at a HBCU right now at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I'm very, very happy for her and proud of her, and she will take that degree into life.
Right, 100%. And for people down south know about HBCUs, but people on the West Coast and states that don't have HBCUs, A Different World was the open door for us to experience what that could look like, from the sororities to the fraternities and to just like the experience. And it was so true to the experience when you really went.
Now, Neil, did you pledge?
No. No.
Oh, you seem like you would have. You seem like you would have been over there doing your thug thizzle. I'm there.
Did you pledge?
I did not. I did not.
Mm-mm. You gonna make
Yeah.
me choke. You see that choke? No, I did not pledge. But shout
Now,
out to
if I would have pledged, so I was right up the road from you at Northeast Louisiana University, at PWI, and the Alphas was big on our yard. I would have probably pledged Alpha if I would have pledged.
you would have pledged Alpha.
I would have pledged
Um, for me, you know what? I don't know. I mean, I have on the blue that represents the what is it? The what are the Zeta?
Zetas.
Zeta. You know, I like the Zetas, and you know, chapters are different on different campuses, right?
Very true.
So when I was at Grambling, the Zetas and the Sigmas were not that fraternity. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It was probably more deltas than a Qs.
It was the
Probably.
Deltas and the Qs. The AKAs were on suspension, and the Kappas, you know, they were popping. The Alphas were popping, and the Omegas were popping. But when I got older or went to other colleges, the Sigmas was popping, the Zetas was popping. So it just depended on if they were suspended or what that looked like on your campus.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, this is what I learned as an adult. So one of my best friends is a Sigma. And so traveling around the country with him allowed me to see his fraternity up close. Everywhere we went, Neil, he had somebody that had his back. And that in itself was so valuable to us as we traveled around the country. And every city, he's like, "Man, I got to call my frat brother. He's gonna take care of us tomorrow night." Da, da, da. And so we had that. He had that network of the tight knit network of humans that helped him no matter what. And that brother here is what I think is awesome. Whether you're a Sigma or Q or a Kappa, I love the brotherhood.
Me too. Couple things in the chat there, they were putting their shows. A Different World got a lot of love. Good Times got a lot of love. Cosby Show. Those were the ones.
Martin, got to be some Martin in there.
Nobody put Martin. I think they went off of what we were talking about too.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, they went off of what about the Jamie Foxx show or the Steve Harvey show?
I like Jamie Foxx. I like Steve Harvey. I like Mr. Hightower. I still watch those episodes, those old episodes. But Martin was a moment in time. Uh, the Jeffersons was a moment in time. Good Times was a moment in time. And not to say that Steve wasn't, but I mean, it just was a different type of show to me.
I can't hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Sometimes uh keep talking. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
All
My
right, no
mic is
doubt.
out.
All right.
Wait, my mic just went out. I can't
I
hear
hear you.
you
I hear
that
you
way.
fine. I hear you fine.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I definitely hear you.
Let me go out and come
Okay,
back in.
great. All right, you guys. This is Black Press USA. My name is Rodney Perry. That young lady is Nielle. And what a great show today. You guys have been awesome all day. And such great. Did we cover the Eric Benet thing? I guess we did talk about that. But it's remarkable to see Eric even say that because he's just an awesome guy. And then, of course, joining us back, Miss Nielle. Can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Can you hear me?
I don't hear you at all. That's great.
You don't hear me? Wow. StreamYard be tripping, y'all. I can hear
All
somebody
right,
say,
close us out. How about that?
all right, let's close this out. I wanted to talk about, there was some stuff. All right, but Rodney will be back next Wednesday. Tomorrow, Al Reynolds will be in the building, bringing news, views, and opinions. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love, y'all.